It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. I am Spencer, and this is episode F31. 31. All right, we got a lot of words to get through, so let's just do it. The first word is the second form of the word farm. F-A-R-M, transitive verb from the 15th century. Number one is obsolete, and the synonym is rent. So when you are farming, can't talk about that because that's the verb we're going to get to. In the previous episode, we had a number of forms, number of definitions for farm, letting out revenues, taxes. Yes, that was what it's all coming back to me now. So I guess if you just rent out a place, you're farming it out. Number two, to collect and take the fees or profits of on payment of a fixed sum. And we know from the previous episode that fixed sum is the farm. Farming the farm. When you're taking this money, you are farming it. The example of where these profits are from, I guess, is an occupation or a business. They're making money, and to collect and take the fees of. So is somebody else taking the profits of a business, or is the business farming the fees? I think it's the former. Number three, to give up to another on condition of receiving in return a fixed sum. Wow, that's worded silly. So the thing that you are giving up would be an estate or a business. So to give up an estate or business to somebody else on the condition of receiving in return. So you're selling it. That's what it is. You're saying, here, take the estate or the business, and in return, I'm going to get an amount of money. I guess that's what it is. It seems like just sell. But for some reason, it's farm. 4A, to devote to agriculture. So if you farm your life, you are devoting your life to agriculture, growing things, providing food for yourself and for other people, and maybe some animals. 4B, to manage and cultivate as a farm. So if you are just doing something similar to a farm, cultivating a thing, managing a thing like it's a farm, then you're farming. 4C, to grow or cultivate in quantity. And the examples are farming trees for fuel. I don't know what sort of fuel, like a fire fuel, that sort of fuel. And also farm salmon. So you are growing it, growing the trees, growing the salmon, and then you are cultivating them. You are getting them ready to be harvested, killed, and then farmed out, sold to places so they can use them. I don't like the idea of farming the animals. Farming the trees, I feel, is a little bit different. We need trees. I don't like the idea of cutting them down, but as long as you're growing more trees to replace them, then it's okay. But we can't be doing this, cutting down forests and then not regrowing them. That's bad. Okay, intransitive verb for farm is to engage in raising crops or animals. I'm just going to engage in these crops that are being raised. Okay, nothing terribly interesting there. Moving on to, what's my sound effect? It is, whoa. The next word is farmer. Noun from the 14th century. Number one, a person who pays a fixed sum for some privilege or source of income. So the person is paying the farm fee, the fixed sum, so they have the privilege to do something, or they are getting income. You pay money to get money. You got to have money to make money. The farmer, it's all so strange and weird but oddly simple. Number 2, a person who cultivates land or crops or raises animals as livestock or fish. Yep, that's the one that we know of. The number 1 definition, I'm not aware. It's all about the exchanging of money and things and goods and services, and I don't know. I guess maybe if you're farming out your work, maybe that's like this one. Pays a fixed sum for some privilege or source of income. I guess maybe, yeah, you're paying other people, freelancers, to do your work, so they have the privilege of doing your work, and you're paying them, and then maybe you'll get more money afterwards. I guess, yeah. Number 3, the synonyms are yokel and bumpkin, because, of course, stereotypically, culturally, we think that farmers, people who are tilling the land and growing agriculture and dealing with the animals, that they are very rural, redneck, whatever, and so they must be yokels and bumpkins. And clearly, that is a stereotype, that is so whatever. It's not always true. Are some of them yokels and bumpkins? Probably. Are people who live in a big old city sometimes yokels and bumpkins? Also, yes, sometimes. Whoa. Next is farmer cheese. Farmer cheese? Noun from 1949. A pressed, unripened cheese similar to, but drier and firmer than cottage cheese. Oh, I am so curious and also a little scared about what this is. Drier and firmer than cottage cheese. So it's like you just leave your cottage cheese out and it dries? No. What? Farmer cheese, it's pressed, it's not ripe. Is that good or bad? I don't know. I've never heard of farmer cheese. I don't think I will be trying any farmer cheese. Whoa. Farmerette. If I remember correctly, Helen Zaltzman of the podcast The Illusionist, when she was on this show, one of the examples, I think we had the "et" suffix maybe in that episode, and I think one of the examples was farmerette, and we were both like, what? Farmerette? It is a noun from 1902. It is a woman who is a farmer or farm hand, helping out on the farm, working the farm, owning the farm, all those things. She's a lady. She's a farmerette. I think we should bring this word back just because it's so strange and weird and fun, but also no need to be genderizing these jobs. Whoa. Farmer's lung. 2 words, noun from 1945. An acute pulmonary disorder characterized by sudden onset, fever, cough, expectoration, and breathlessness that results from the inhalation of spores in dust from moldy hay or straw. So the moldy hay or straw has some mold in it, possibly. You want to make sure that your hay and straw is clean, but otherwise it might have this spores, molds and spores and stuff, and then if you breathe that in, then you might get this fever, cough, expectoration, breathlessness. It's going to mess up your lungs. That's a pulmonary thing. The spores are going to get into your lungs and make it hard for you to do all this. Maybe you're hacking up stuff, and I don't think that this is not good. This is why you got to make sure your stuff is clean. You don't want moldy hay or straw. I don't think you do. And also, the animals who eat it might get sick. Rolling around in it, doing whatever they do in the hay or straw, they're going to get animal lung. And that's not good for anybody. Whoa. Farmhand. 1 word, noun from 1843. 1. A farm laborer, especially a hired laborer on a farm. It sounds very similar. A farm laborer or a hired laborer on a farm. Is the farm laborer not hired? Maybe not. Maybe they just work for free. Somebody hired to work on a farm. Number 2, a player on a farm team. Oh, I think this is talking about the minor league baseball thing. So, you call them farmhands? I did not know that. Whoa! Farmhouse. Noun from 1598. A dwelling on a farm. Just the place where you live on a farm. And I feel like a lot of them probably look pretty similar. They just look very, very nice houses, maybe kind of big. Maybe there's a porch. Gotta have a porch on a farmhouse. I think it's required. Whoa! Farming. Noun from 1659. The practice of agriculture or aquaculture. Growing water? I'm not entirely sure what aquaculture is. You're doing it. You're practicing it every day. Go out every day and practice your farming. And one day you will be a fantastic, expert, master farmer. Hopefully you don't get farm lung. Whoa! Farmland. Noun from 1638. Land used or suitable for farming. You get some farmland, you do some farming, you build a farmhouse, you get the farmer's lung, you hire the farm hands. Maybe you grow some farmer cheese. Can you grow farmer cheese? Whoa! Farm out. Okay, this is back to the one that I was talking about before. This is a transitive verb from circa 1600, way back then. Number 1, to turn over as a job. For performance by another, usually under contract. So you are giving the job to somebody else. You make a contract. So everybody's like, yes, I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do and blah, blah, blah. And I will sign the contract. And so, you're like, I don't want to do this job. You do this job. I'll pay you a little bit of money. Thank you. Bye. 2a, to put into the hands of another for care. And the thing that you are putting into the other person's care is children. Children. Farming out your children. Is this like a daycare? You're farming out your kids to a daycare? Take care of my kids, please. I don't want to do it. I got a job. I got to go to my job. I'm going to farm out my kids. 2b, to send as a baseball player to a farm team. So is it the major league sending them down to the minor league? Or what? I don't know. I don't know who's going which direction, but I thought the farm team was the minor league team. Number 3, to exhaust the land by farming, especially by continuously raising one crop. The land gets all messed up if you're raising one crop over and over again every year. The land is like, I want some diversity here. This is getting boring. You know, just like in your own life, if you do the same thing over and over again, you get bored with it, you need some change. The land also needs some change. So I have heard that it's best to, I'm sure there's specifics about this, but raise one thing one year and then a different thing the next year, and the ground gets new nutrients. It's best for the land, for the crops, the farmers, the farm hands, the farmerettes. Everybody is happy when you're changing it up periodically. I guess. Otherwise, the land's gonna get farmed out. Whoa! Farmstead. Noun from 1807. The buildings and adjacent service areas of a farm. Broadly, a farm with its buildings. The whole place. The land where the buildings... No, you don't raise the buildings. You do, but that's not what I was trying to say. The land where the crops are raised, where the buildings are, the whole thing is the farmstead. The farmhouse is on the farmstead. Okay, you get it. Whoa. Woo. Farmwife. Noun from 1874. This seems like we don't... Do you need... It's a farmer's wife. It's a farmer's wife if you couldn't tell. Hmm. Is she also a farmer? Does she farm, or does she just take care of the house? Does she get the eggs from the chickens and the meat from the animals that are being killed, and does she cook them and do the cleaning while the farmer's farming? Oh, here's my farm wife. She's just your wife. Okay, do you need to say farm wife? She's only a wife on the farm. When we go out somewhere else, she's not a farm wife anymore. I don't know. Okay, whatever. Whoa. Farm worker, noun from 1941. Number one, it's just the one thing. It's the number one definition for the word farmhand. Yep, farm worker, farm hand. They're using their hands to work on the farm. Farm work is a noun. Let's do some farm work. I have not ever done farm work. Whoa. Farmyard, noun from 1723. That's a fun couple of words to say together because they have the similar A sound. Farmyard. This is land around or enclosed by farm buildings, especially the synonym barnyard. So there's the barn, and then there is the land around the barn, or maybe, yeah, that's the barnyard. Your house maybe has a front yard and a backyard, a side yard, and barns have a barnyard. Let's go hang out in the barnyard. It's on the farm. It's also a farmyard. So I just like playing with the words. Okay, no more farm words. Thank you very much. We're done with those. Whoa. Next is Faro, F-A-R-O, not the Egyptian pharaoh. This is a noun from 1731, and it is, this is not what I was expecting, a gambling game in which players bet on cards drawn from a dealing box. This seems like is it like, I bet the next card you pull out is going to be a 7. You got a 1 in 13 chance if it's a full deck. Interesting. Farrow. Where does this word come from? I thought this was like a root vegetable or something. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of taro. Taro? I don't know. This word is probably an alternative of the earlier word pharaoh, which is the Egyptian one, P-H-A-R-A-O-H, and it's really kind of all it says. Let's put a link in the show notes for Faro, F-A-R-O, this gambling game. How do you play? Is it literally just like, what's the next card going to be? I bet you $1 it's this. You are wrong. I will take your dollar. Whoa! Next is Faroese. Capital F-A-R-O-E-S-E. It is a variation of same word spelled F-A-E-R-O-E-S-E. Okay. Whoa! Far off. 2 words with a hyphen. Adjective from the 15th century. Remote in time or space. I'm just going to zone out into my far-off lands of time and space. Ooh, my brain is far off. It's just a thing that's like way out over there, far off. Far off in the distance, we'll never make it. Whoa. Farouche. F-A-R-O-U-C-H-E. Adjective from 1765. Number 1, the synonym is wild. Wild? Farouche is wild? Can't wait to look at the etymology on this one. Farouche. Number 2, marked by shyness and lack of social graces. Well, I guess I kind of see how, like, if you're kind of a wild, then you, maybe you don't like being around humans, and you don't have the social graces. You have not been domesticated or tamed yet, so you are wild. Okay, where does this word come from? We got to get into it now, because I'm so curious. Farouche, it's French. It means wild or shy. I mean, it's right there in the word. From the lower Latin forasticus, which means living outside. From the Latin foras, which means outdoors, akin to the Latin fores or fores, which means door. So fores is door, and then foras is outdoors. You go through the door, you go out there. And then forasticus is something that is out in the outdoors. It lives in the outdoors. Fascinating. And then it became French, wild and shy, because it's all outside, living outdoors. And like I said before, maybe if you live outdoors and you don't ever get incorporated with the humans, you are very shy. You don't like to be by them. So you are farouche. I've never heard this before. And why don't people know about this word? People need to know about this word. Whoa. Far out. 2 words with a hyphen. Adjective from 1954. Marked by a considerable departure from the conventional or traditional. As in, far out clothes. This podcast is so far out, man, 'cause it's not conventional or traditional. Far outness is a noun. I think far off and far out, they are similar. Are they siblings? Are they cousins? They're close enough that like they kind of go hand in hand. I could just imagine far off and far out, holding hands, frolicking through the meadow. Far out. That is so not traditional. Far out. Whoa. Next is farraginous. Farraginous. F-A-R. Oh, there's double R. F-A-R-R-A-G-I-N-O-U-S. Adjective from 1615. It means consisting of a farrago. So farraginous consists of a farrago, which is our next word. Whoa! Farrago. You can say farrago or farrago, noun, from 1632. It is a confused... I'm confused. A confused mixture. The synonym is hodgepodge. So you just put lots of stuff together that maybe don't really go together, but they kind of became a new thing, and it's all so confusing. That is a farrago. And then something that consists of a farrago. So you put all this stuff together that's a hodgepodge. That's a farrago. And then something that you put the farrago in something else. That new thing is farraginous. Okay. We obviously got to look at the etymology. This is from the Latin farrago, which means mixed fodder or mixture. Also from far, which means spelt, and there's more at the word barley. And it's just you mix. So this seems like this came from the idea of these grains, spelt barley, oats, rye, corn, whatever. Maybe they mixed them all up and it became this thing that they called farrago. And then maybe you put that into a meal and you have a farraginous meal. A meal of meal. Whoa! Far-reaching, 2 words with a hyphen. Adjective from circa 1590. Having a wide range or effect. It reaches so far. This podcast is far-reaching because it is so far out, man. It will reach into far-off space and time. Whoa. Far-red. Far-red. Yeah, 2 words with a hyphen. That red is very far away. Far-red. Adjective from 1951. The synonym is near infrared. And in the previous episode, we had far infrared. And I feel like, do we have another similar one coming up? I don't know, maybe. So far infrared is the infrared on the far spectrum. Near infrared, it's near the red, but it's still infrared, so it's on the far side of red, so it's far red. Right. Far red is near infrared. It's closer to the visible side of things, but it's still infrared, so it's farther away than red. Okay, we've spent plenty of time on that one. Wow. Farrier. Farrier. This one is a noun from the 15th century. It is a person who shoes horses. Horses need their shoes. I don't know why exactly. Are they not built by nature to have those big nails? It's just like their whole foot is like a nail. Is that not good? What do the wild horses do? Nobody's putting shoes on the wild horses. Nature takes care of them. So what's with the shoes? Why we got to put these shoes on? Do the horses, they probably don't feel anything because the nail is just like real thick, dead tissue, dead material, whatever. So when they put the horseshoe into them with the nails, they probably don't feel it, but they probably don't love having their foot up like that. So I don't really fully understand the point of horseshoes other than to play the game. Okay, so where does this word come from? I mean, it's not a horseshoeier, it's a farrier. Let's see, it's from the Middle English, farrour, Anglo-French farrour, which means blacksmith. Okay, well, horseshoes are made out of metal, so a blacksmith had to make them. From farrer, which means to shoe horses, specifically. Then way back down to the Latin ferrum, which means iron. And that is why on the periodic table, the symbol for iron is Fe, I think. And so iron, blacksmith, making metal horseshoes, sticking the shoes on the horses. That's why they are a farrier. Okay. Putting shoes on horses. The Converse shoes? What kind of shoes did the horses like Crocs? Now I'm imagining a horse walking on crocodiles. Yesterday I bought some shoes. We were at the shoe store and they had a whole bunch of Crocs. And I've never worn Crocs, but they had a pair of Crocs. I think one pair was Woody and one pair was Buzz from Toy Story. And they had some other silly ones too. And I was like, boy, you gotta be a real big fan. I mean, I'm a big fan of Toy Story, but I am not a big enough fan to wear Woody, and Buzz Crocs. Whoa. Wow. The last word is the first form of the word farrow, Farrow. Verb from the 13th century starting with transitive. To give birth to, and the thing that you might be giving birth to is a farrow, Farrow, which we're probably going to see in the next episode. Intransitive is talking about a swine. So maybe a farrow is related to a swine. So intransitive is to bring forth young. And this is often used with the word down. Farrow down. Birthing young, bringing forth young, bringing new life into the world. Farrow. Well, I still don't know what we're talking about. So would the adult pig be farrowing down when it births its babies? I guess we might learn a little bit more in the next episode because we got 2 more forms of farrow, but we got some etymology. This is from Middle English farwen, from Old English fargion, from Old English fjar, which means young pig. That must be what a farrow is, a young pig. Akin to the Old High German fera, which means young pig, from the Latin porcus, which means pig. So porcus, and then it turned into fera in Old High German. That's what it is. A farrow is a young pig. And how did I not know this? I knew piglet, but I didn't know farrow. Piglet. I don't know what Piglet and Winnie the Pooh have had so many cute phrases back and forth. And I've seen books and pictures and pillows and signs with fun quotes from them, but I can't remember any. So I don't know what else to say about. It's just a funny word that I've never heard of before. Okay, we got to stop it there. We must stop and pick a word of the episode. Word of the episode. I don't sing so well when I'm in my office here. Okay, we had today farm, farmer, farmer cheese, farmerette, farmer's lung, farmhand, farmhouse, farming, farmland, farm out, farmstead, farm wife, farm worker, farmyard, farrow, faroese, far off, farouche, far out, farraginous, farrago or farrago, far reaching, far red, farrier, and farrow. Let's pick farouche. Farouche. Farouche is the word of the episode. Farouche. Farouche. I'm wild and shy. Farouche. Don't take me to a party 'cause I'm farouche. All right. Whatever. That was fantastic. So good. It was so good. I'm going to tell you about a movie. Let me see. We watched that. We talked about that. Cuckoo. We watched Cuckoo in the theater, and boy, it's been so long since I watched this one. It's thinking about what to say about Cuckoo. Sharon had a thought about sort of what this movie meant. We read up on it. It was not mentioned, but I thought it was very clever, and I don't want to say anything and spoil it. But I think it's definitely worth a watch. Cuckoo. There's some very, very creepy, unsettling moments for sure. And if you feel a little wonky, when you feel a little cuckoo sometimes when you watch this movie. And it was fun, and I liked the lead character. I thought there were moments it was like, that's how a normal human would react in this situation. There's even a line in the trailers, something like, "Don't you realize how strange that sounds when you say it like that?" or something. Anyway, it was a fun movie. And I think that's it for today. That's it. I gotta go do stuff now. Thank you for checking out this show, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Far out, man. Goodbye. Beep, beep, beep.